Did you know you could lose your entire farm position overnight if you're not careful? Let me show you how to avoid a liquidation and protect your crypto at all costs. This is something that's not really discussed a whole lot on YouTube and in general in the crypto community, is liquidation. Key thing here is I want to pay your attention to, draw your attention to actually, is this one. I posted this yesterday. Position is shown on getting 12.28% and getting 12x points. Obviously this is for the airdrop, and obviously there's going to be zero impermanent loss here. So in this scenario, I lent USDC, borrowed S. See down here, I swapped it in a different protocol, and then what happens is I set it up into Swapex LP pair, which is earning me 9.4%, and I pretty much will be using the rewards to repay the loan. And obviously, the focus here for me is to build my airdrop points. So key thing here is you're earning on capital basically, and it's not really costing you anything. I really want you to kind of focus on this side of things, because what I'm going to do next is show you pretty much how it's all done and the things to avoid. So if we jump over here to Swapex, again, shout out to Swapex for sponsoring. I'm looking at this position here at the moment. We're looking at Rapsonic USDC. You can see here it's roughly 202%. And if we quickly jump over here to the crypto calculator, it'll allow you to kind of get an idea of potential repayments on the loan you can use. So if we just put it in at 200%, what we want to do here is in this scenario, let's assume you have Ethereum, USDC, Bitcoin, you have S tokens, you have a few different other assets that you don't want to sell. You want to hold on to, but you also want to be involved in the airdrops, involved in DeFi in general, and start earning some sort of revenue and cash flow in your business. Let's focus on crypto, the DeFi side of things as a business. So with that in mind, what we'll be doing here is, in this example, I've deposited these 40 S tokens. I do not want to sell these S tokens. I want to hold them forever. But the key thing is, I also want to earn. I'd like to be able to earn some of this 200% that I've mentioned over here. So with that in mind, you can see some of the key things here really to pay attention. Now we're over here on the Aave platform. Aave is one of the biggest lending borrowing platforms in DeFi in general. So, you know, you definitely is something that you want to be keeping a close eye on and utilizing into your DeFi toolkit. So you can see here, I've already borrowed $2 worth of USDC. My health factor is one of the most important things to keep an eye on up here in the top left. You can see that it's 4.33. It literally just changed because obviously the price of S might have just kind of went up a little bit very quickly. You can see over here, the S token has went up the last hour. So that's why the health factor is obviously increasing here. So the key thing here is we don't want this going low. As soon as this hits liquidation value of 1, if you can see it here, you're going to lose pretty much your assets are going to be liquidated to repay your loan. So again, something you have to be super cautious and careful of. Different assets will allow you to have a threshold for borrowing. So LTV, loan to value, will give you a different amount. You can see here we can go up to 70%. However, if we go up to 70%, all it takes is small movement to the downside and we're going to be liquidated straight away. Again, extremely risky. Although what I like to try and keep it at is, if I can keep it at maybe in around the 2.4 to 3 rating is always good. However, what I tend to do is I always have a little bit of stable coins on the side just in case. So these would be like maybe my long-term holdings of crypto or stable coins that I have. And what I do is, if prices start to really change really quickly and I don't have the chance to maybe withdraw my liquidity or whatever, what happens is I just quickly repay some of it off to bring the health factor right up. Key thing is this health factor, and I'll emphasize it 3 or 4 times throughout the video, but as I said, people need to understand the importance of it. We have the 2 options obviously with our USDC. You can jump over here, you can earn on the 200%. So let's assume in this example here we're at putting in 2,000 and we're going to borrow $1,000. So now initial deposit over here is $1,000. We're earning 200%. We're not compounding, we're just using the rewards. That's going to be $548 a day is going to be paid off our loan, and monthly it's $164. So over a period of roughly 9 months, 10 months, or less than you're going to have this loan almost completely paid. And the thing about it then is, what happens is the loan is paid and you still have your position here, which is still earning you. Yes, the APRs might be a bit lower, but now you have roughly $1,000 position if prices stay similar to what they are over the next couple of months. Thing is, you've grown your bags with zero cost really to you. And as I said, that roughly $5.48 a day or €164 a month is now coming into you in the point that you can actually use it whatever way you want to use it. So again, this is going to allow you to build out your positions, and again, without really risking a whole lot of your actual assets having to sell. Because if you have to sell your crypto, get into a new position, chances are you're going to get wrecked somewhere along the line, because you're going to get into a position that's extremely risky. But this method is safer to an extent. Obviously, you will have the obvious platform risk, protocol risk, contract risk as always, but the key here is it allows you to hold on to your longer term bags and utilize the power of DeFi and eventually grow them to be much bigger. So what I'll show you here quickly is just how you repay this loan, and again, you know, it's a simple enough process. So you can see I borrowed $2. I go to repay. What I want to do is repay the amount I had, so I can repay the 2.02. You can see I have obviously $8 in it. Now my health factor is going to change completely. Now that that's approved, what you want to do is just pretty much repay the USDC. And you'll see up here the 4.33 is obviously going to change. And there you have it. So that's how you can do it. Obviously in this scenario you can borrow USDC, wrap it. You can even borrow S again. Obviously the rates are going to be always a little bit higher. So we're going to leave it there. Make sure you check out my website. I have a lot of different information, a lot of blogs, go over different articles that I've recently talked about, and you know, hopefully it'll help you on your crypto and DeFi journey. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.